Very well, sir.
Let's bring the depression.
Very well.
Hey, there's
right.
no depression. This is good.
What?
Happy New Year.
When you signing
Come
up
on.
for ABR?
Did you guys want me to do the intro, or you just want to yell at each other?
We're an old
Let's do
married
the
couple.
intro.
Let's go with
do it.
let's go with 2024. Let's yell at each other.
2024,
I love you, man.
New Year, same Keyforge. What's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E, joined here by a condensed cast of misfits. We have the Ewokiest of Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, Keyforge community. Happy New Year. It is so glad to be here. I miss all of you family. Hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas holiday season and your New Year's is off to a great start.
New
So what
Year.
would the least walkiest be?
I don't know. You just shitting on my intro? What's the deal? Like, what's the... But we
Just
have...
listen, if he is the most walkiest, I just want to know what the least walkiest
He's the
would be.
Ewokiest.
I mean, he's probably
of
also the
Ewoks.
least walkiest, right?
Yeah.
He's the all walkie. He's the all walkie.
Oh my. All walkie.
But we have this New Year, same choke show. We got the choke show. Drazcor.
How's it going, guys?
And our resident PhD, Dr. Sheep.
Yep.
But we have news. We told you we'd come back and there'd be some news. There's a little bit of news, just a touch.
There's
Hey,
no
hey,
news.
It came before Christmas too. December 22nd.
One did.
Hey, one is better than none.
So we got news on December 22nd, right before we all took our yearly sabbatical to clear our minds, spend time with our families, and inevitably powerbomb one through a table. Update on
Who'd you pick this year?
What?
Who'd you go with?
Who do you think,
That was Uncle.
The same
Uncle
person
Buck.
I pick
Yeah.
every year, Drazcor.
His mother-in-law.
Damn straight. But December 22nd.
Wait. Is this why we couldn't record last night? Because she was in the hospital because you chose to
That
powerbomb
was
her?
my wife's grandmother. She got a pacemaker.
Well, I'm glad that she is all okay. Yes, we are a little late, but you're not going ahead and body slamming grandma, are you?
No,
Okay,
she's far
okay,
too
I
tiny
just-
for me to body slam her.
Wait, so tiny people you can't body slam.
The physics is all off. It just doesn't work.
So is that why
Yeah, they're
his
just
wife
dangling
never
from chest
body
height. It
slammed
doesn't
Ewok?
work.
I'm safe, guys.
I mean, me and Ewok are probably very similar heights. So, I mean, we can sell tickets to next year's KFC to watch Wookiee powerbomb Ewok through a table.
Nice.
Ooh.
I'll spring
Sell
for the
some tickets.
table.
Ooh.
Nice. I'll spring. So generous of you, Sheep. I'll spring for the table.
It'll
But
just be a table of his shredder decks, right? They
just shredder
body
decks
slam him
flying
to the shredder
everywhere.
decks.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
man.
No, you know how at Gen Con for the other card games they make like a big giant castle with all the cards?
Are
Can
you
we make
talking
a
about Card
table?
Hall? What is it? Card
Yeah,
Hall?
Card Hall.
Yeah, Card Hall.
Yeah.
We could do the same, but we can use old Keyforge decks in
Mhm.
order to make a table, which then
So
we
you
go ahead
just
and
want to be
donate-
power bombed to the floor? That sounds more painful.
well, but it would be good for charity. So
Oh, okay. If as long as it's for charity, I'm
I mean,
willing to power bomb you
we'd have
through a
to-
floor.
we'd have to go ahead
I
and
don't really want to explain to your wife while your back's broken, but you know,
oh, it's already broken. She
for
did that.
charity, why not?
She knows if he goes anywhere with me, he's likely to come back injured.
I've only ever broke 2 bones, and both times it has been with sheep.
Weird.
I
Seems to be a trend. I don't know.
Hmm.
Is it 3 times it's a trend? Is that what it is?
We have a good time together. It's
All
all
right.
fine.
We
Yeah.
do. But on December 22nd, 2023, you're hungry for the 2024 or 2024 organized play pack. I guess that's what we're calling it.
You are jumping into this. You're just
I'm right
skipping-
head first, man. I am excited.
Whoa. Okay,
I am
just gonna move-
excited for in-store play.
Chronologically, this did happen first, so go
This
ahead.
did happen first, right?
Well, I'm just moving our notes because we have some sweet show notes. So just we're gonna put that at the end. We're good.
I didn't
Got it.
even look at those this week. But you want to know
I
when?
couldn't
You want to
tell
know
from your
where?
response.
It says you want to know when, you want to know where, and we're well aware. That sounds like bad grammar in some way, somehow. I'm not sure. We will have additional info on the entirety of our 2024 season coming soon. But for now, we would like to give you a quick update on store championships. We said at Keyforge Celebration, the 2024 organized play season will begin with these foundational events, and that's still the plan. March to Victory. Ghost Galaxy is happy to announce the 2024 store championships will be held during the entire month of March. They will be limited to brick and mortar retailers who must sign up using the Playstyle application. See below for more on that. Retailers will, once they've completed the sign up, be able to pick any dates between March 1st, 2024 and March 31st, 2024 in which to run their event. And then it gives us some stuff for retailer sign up. So, Sheet.
Yep.
Am I able to get play styles from anywhere yet? Play style. Okay. So, I mean, yay. We're going to get store championships. Boo.
Are we?
I mean, according to this article, the answer is yes.
I mean, what's different now than 3 months ago?
They wrote an article.
Okay, and what's different now versus the OP thing we were told at the end of 22?
Well, the difference
This one
now,
didn't have a sweet video of how Keyforge decks are made and a little phone that is to reject twin decks. I'm sorry, I can never let that go. That literally, like, there's a Galaxy S8 that's controlling whether there are multiple of one deck or not.
I mean,
Guys-
it's probably
guys-
like CTP's old phone. Like, it's probably
like
good.
He's upgraded.
That's a good deal.
You know as well
Oh.
as everybody else that is the cheapest way to get
Mhm.
high quality webcams is just old cell phones.
It is true. Like, you have a better quality phone in your pocket.
Better quality camera.
Better quality camera. Better quality phone. Better quality camera in your pocket that can record up to. I mean, mine can do up to 4K, which is why I went.
And
with
like wide vision and all kinds of stuff.
it can do all sorts of fun stuff. Or you can go be a dum-dum like me and also pay for a Canon M50, which is going to run you about $600 to $700.
Yeah, but then you could put the fancy creeper lens on it and zoom in on whatever it is you'd like to
Your
zoom
neighbors.
in on.
Well, on a different note,
Dimples? Whatever gets you.
Ooh, dimples.
I
Oh,
just went
dimples?
ahead. I just went ahead and logged into my playstyle because it was fun to be able to check, hey, where is this at? And I think I might have been, causing the whole system to crash because it just popped up 2023 KFC Archon World Championship Finals archived, and it has Ewok Jr. versus TBD, and it gives me a choice. Should I drop off now? Do
Yeah,
you think it is?
I would drop if I were you.
Or should
You
I?
should
I mean, it.
You should totally press drop. Just see what happens. Oh my god, the chaos.
I mean,
Oh,
my
same here.
the stats do show. It says rank first, SOS 0.75, wins 1, losses 1. But it kind of did bring a little joy to me to open up and see this. So
mine says KFC Nightfall sealed,
That's mine says, yeah.
which is only funny in that I played in another playstyle event after that.
Is it just playstyle.com?
Play still.
Play still?
Still.
And
S-Tile.
I don't know. I'm looking at
Play
it
S-Tile.
on my computer. There's a disputes tab on the left.
Oh my gosh, there is.
Yeah, mine. I don't know.
I don't have a disputes tab.
Yeah, my disputes. Oh.
Well, that's because they know you'd never have one.
I mean, they are right.
Right.
Like we're really good, but it says archive. This is really interesting. Okay, we're good.
Alright.
We're good. I'm gonna report.
Okay, well that was okay, but
High tangent.
my argument still stands in that yes, there is an article, but there is absolutely nothing different.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh, no,
And
the only thing
past
that's changed
18 months
is that, now there's
there.
6
there
weeks
is.
have passed, right? So,
Okay. Draz is correct.
Yes,
6
there
weeks.
is different. that
Six-
has
six-
changed.
6
Yeah.
weeks has passed. We are in
Now they're overdue.
2024. Well, yes, but by the 22nd, they did go ahead and tell us we know exactly when. You should be able to sign up. March 1st to March 31st
It-
is when our March to Victory Score
2022
Championship will be held.
Thing told us what month they were going to be in too. And guess what? They didn't happen.
It's true. They were supposed to happen in February, if I believe, in 2022.
GG, I
Well,
can only
2023. They told us 2022.
Josh, I can only fight for you so long, man. Like you're giving me something here, but
He's not even here today, man. Fuck
I
that.
understand.
Fuck that guy. All right.
Hey,
he
hey,
is dropped.
hey.
Yeah,
No.
God forbid the guy had
well,
actually something to do on
we
Friday
recorded-
night.
Jeremy,
I
you
know. We
are
recorded on
climbing.
Friday,
You are
so-
climbing the ranks.
Yeah, back up the ranks.
You are
Jeremy,
back
come
to
on.
number like
No,
5.
I mean, you're right. Like, generally, we are much more likely to actually have an event. But what I'm saying is there are no actual delivereds yet.
No,
So-
there are no delivereds, but there are things like retailer signups. Okay, they'll be available after the new year.
Not delivered.
Sheep, are
And-
retailers able to sign up?
No.
What?
Okay.
Wait. What about the contents that have been spoiled? Can I say?
All
that?
right. So,
No, because that's not
But they-
even
But they
real.
have been.
but
what do you mean
it's not real?
Someone made a website and it happens to be GG, and we're like, oh, this is a fake
There's
website.
all kinds of stuff that gets tested on websites and put stuff that never goes live.
Yeah. Do you think GG's doing that though?
All right, put the
They-
URL in the
they
chat.
can
Let's all look at
barely-
it and talk about it. All right,
I don't
let's
have. Do you
this.
have the URL? I don't. I didn't save the URL.
And I am done living on non-delivered, non-factual things, right? Like I can have all the rumors and all the backroom talk I want, but until there is something that
But we like
Every
rumors and
Keyforge
conjecture.
player?
here.
Yeah, red card for
Yeah,
sheep.
okay.
Red card
Yep,
for sheep.
yep. Domino
The
did just
show-
give you a red card sheep,
the
or
show
all of us because we don't know where this link is.
Okay, I agree. The show likes that stuff, but me personally, I'm kind of done.
I can understand. It has been now what we're on. Is this? It's been a full year of living on hopes and prayers, and it's
Wait, you're just a year? Man, you're really good.
There's
Is
no
it- is it-
prayers. I have not
Has it
prayed
been
for
2
Keyforge.
years?
Well, again, we don't pray for Keyforge. This is a whole nother thing that we can get into.
Well, okay.
I
So,
bet you somebody prays for Keyforge.
do you want? Is there a better analogy you'd like me to use? We're living off of just hope. Okay, great.
We're-
All right,
no,
so-
No, we're
we're-
living off
we're
of
living off-
goodwill.
Yeah, we're living off of goodwill and the understanding. Like this is a statement from a company saying that this will be coming. But right now we're in this limbo period, waiting to make sure that there's a delivery
I
of it.
like how this statement, some reason, gets more validity than all the previous statements.
I do. Yes, it has been a year to 2 years that we have been living on hope. Right, like we've hoping they're going to do something. We hope they're going to do this. We hope they're going to do that. And the only thing they have delivered on thus far is Vault Tours.
A pretty good 2023 Vault Tour season,
Yes.
as far as
Wow.
number
Yeah, the
of
Vault Tours
events.
is good. All right, here we go. I found a screenshot. So
Yeah, that's all I was looking for was a screenshot.
Keyforge 2024 Store Championship Kit, retailer
put it in the-
application
Put-
required.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Didn't it have like the prize kit that was in there too? Yeah,
Yeah, I had a picture of what it was going to be at least.
that's all I
It's a
wanted.
picture.
Was a
I
picture.
know Wookie will go ahead and not upload this. So please
There.
come
There it
check
is.
out. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is what do you mean? All of our stuff gets uploaded. It's just not in a
No,
timely
no, no, no,
fashion.
no. When we talk about linking things,
This isn't a
Wookie,
link. This is a picture. Where would you
I
like me to
know.
put a picture in an audio podcast?
Right up your picture hole.
Right. Put it in
will
my
now
picture
dictate
hole.
this JPEG 001
Yeah.
001.
So
do
the
you know how pictures work, Ewok? Like you
I
gotta
know.
each pixel is a line of
Oh.
binary codes that you gotta shut out. And like this one's gonna have a lot of pixels, sir.
It'll take a while.
So-
We might have to do
so
a
when
Patreon.
you go
episode for
ahead-
this.
when you go ahead and actually upload your podcast and then you link, pictures and things that we talk about.
You don't link what internet do you live on? You don't link pictures. There's
Is there more
nowhere
than
for
one
me to
internet?
link a picture.
Oh my goodness, there's more than
You
one internet.
totally link pictures in Discord. You just said
Yeah, show notes.
Sure. Show notes. Why
lot
would
of
you not put it in your
podcasting.
show
you
in
just
that.
put
Okay.
the URL to where the picture resides. Yes.
All right, here we go. So here's what it says. Each store championship kit contains, one kit explainer insert. Okay, so there's there's a piece of paper that tells us what the heck these things are.
This is the
All right.
store championship.
All right. 2024 premium metal key set. There you go.
I
And look
will.
how
I
they-
will.
in the
If that is real, I will be gunning
Mhm.
for that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. Like it
Well,
might
when
just
I win my
be-
third, I'll let you have one.
Thank you. I appreciate
There you
it.
go.
We can't all have overspent on a deck that underperformed, so somebody's got to win them.
Ooh,
We've
I
got-
won all
Spicy in
my
2024.
keys. No, I won most of my keys off of other decks. Thank you.
I-
very
Look,
much.
Lar.
I mean, I will say spoiler, but in Article 2, there was someone who had his name with a deck there.
We don't
So-
talk about him. He
Well, we'll get
ascended.
there. All right. Yes. All right. Two
Anyway.
teal deck books.
Which are
Woohoo!
just
I-
recycled. These
Yeah,
are recycled.
although-
Let's
Yeah,
not get happy about
sure.
this. These are recycled.
No. But I like the teal deck books. I know
Oh
it's
Can
my
we
silly,
come
but
up with a different color?
No,
Already?
No, because it's
like
it-
game genic. They're dead.
yeah,
You're never going to see another one again.
No.
I wonder if
It-
these
it
say
is
second
recycled.
place. I have one that says
Third?
second
Yeah.
place, guys.
Nice.
some of them do
Um,
say second place.
Or
Four.
finishing first. Mine says second place.
Nice. 4 battle tested Grim Reminder decks. And battle tested is in quotes. So what do you guys think that is?
It's just probably another treatment.
I mean, I
I would like
I-
treatment.
do like my joke of they're just my shredder decks.
They're just giving them
Because-
back to you. They're reprinting them.
Battle tested doesn't mean battle passed. So these are the decks that failed.
They
and
got
now I'm gonna
murderized.
give them away as prizes. They're battle tested.
My
I
guess is
know
it's a
it's
treatment.
Tested to be. I don't want them.
I agree with you, Wookie, that it's a treatment, but I do like the idea when I'm picturing some of the bad cutting material that they're just really poorly cut decks that have been like, maybe we got them back, maybe they're twin decks, and we're just gonna resend them back out.
I would like a card of them that's like Jeremy breathed on this deck. And be like, ooh.
Oh
no.
And
Oh,
you
no.
have to collect them all. This one's
Yeah.
from Josh.
This
one's
is
from...
when Josh had COVID. He breathed on this deck.
This is a horrible idea.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. How am I even part of this cast?
I have no
Why do
idea.
I keep coming back
We're-
and subjecting myself?
We
to
are
this?
not 100% sure, but we appreciate your presence.
So I don't know if it's like
It's gotta
battle
be
tested.
It's got to just be a treatment.
Yeah, it's a treatment. It's gonna have little axes on
Oh.
it or something.
Ooh.
Fun.
I was
liked
pitch-
what we had so far. For
Yeah, I was
treatment.
picturing kind of like a red treatment, kind of like it's rocks, like red, gray, brown. That's on the
Blood?
outside showing. Yeah, like kind of like this was hard fought.
But
Maybe it's because I know sheep.
I
You might
just
miss it,
finished.
but-
I just finished the books.
That's what I was going to
Finally?
talk about. Is I am presently rereading
Mind
the
you,
second one.
there is no death in Keyforge because all the dudes just get resurrected.
Well, you do get resurrected, yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
only by an Archon during a vault battle. So if you have to
That's
die,
But these are Archon people.
that's true.
And
So
Are they, like,
there's
all powerful?
No blood or death. I'm just saying. there's
that's
no
why
blood
the
or death.
planet keeps expanding because they're like, we gotta put
Yeah.
all these people
Nice.
somewhere.
Can't we
Nobody
just
ever
kill
dies.
somebody?
So I am
hmm.
rereading the Cubit Zirconium. So that's where I am. And
Yeah. Did you realize they're not logos yet?
they okay. How are they not?
spoilers,
Like that's a whole nother.
by the way, for anyone, I guess, whatever.
It's, are you saying spoilers about 3-year-old books?
It's a 3-year.
I mean, let's be honest, on the internet, like, you have to be like, hey, remember RoboCop? Spoiler alert for those of who haven't watched it.
Was this like spoiler alert in Star Wars? Vader's his dad.
Yeah, pretty
Oh.
much. Yeah.
Guys.
Spoilers, by the way, for everybody who's watched Star Wars.
If you're a sentient being that is full of technology and you're able to input into others, how is that not logos?
Well, the one dude is a demon. They very clearly explain that. And who
Who's
knows
saying
where
Robo,
the
who is
floating,
a floating. You're-
fart.
Wait,
Floating-
something.
a floating fart.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just a
in.
condensed live fart or something.
Oh my goodness.
All right. But anyways,
So
and then
there's also
of
Also
cubic
in this set-
zirconium, when you get to it, they talk about not being part of a house. 'Cause
Ah.
they're not.
They're,
part
they're,
of a
they're
house.
investigators. Anyway,
16 haunted indicator cards.
so
We
there
didn't
was
print ours fast enough.
Yeah, we didn't
Yep,
print
we
ours
forgot
fast
to
enough.
print them on the 37th card. So here you go.
Yeah.
no, I like this, especially with the new
I do
set.
like
This is
it.
something that is going to help mark the deck. That will be
I do like it.
part of, GG. So I like this.
Yeah, no, this is like we've talked about on the show a bunch. Like this is just an obvious, easy thing to do. So yeah, why not make an official version? That seems good. Maybe it'll even be cool.
What do you guys
Maybe
think?
it'll be sharp and we can give ourselves paper cuts with it.
Nah, no metal paper cuts are no fun. What do you guys think about this?
Why do you think it's gonna be metal?
No, it's probably going to be a.
I think they're gonna
cardboard. It's
use
going to be cardboard. You're right.
yeah, cardboard. Yeah, like cardstock that they can just rip right off their printers.
They can go ahead and put a sheet on and then. cut it
Maybe
and
they
put
should
it
put
in.
a chain tracker on the backside just for the
Stop
joke.
it.
I'm handing out
Stop
more
it.
chain trackers.
Oh.
Sit down, sheep.
What do you guys think about the question mark here right over those premium metal keys? So you don't know as a store that
Not
is
done
purchasing
yet?
this. Okay, so your guess is not done yet. Okay.
What do you mean guess? That's what it is. They're not done yet.
Maybe.
But if you look at both the 2020 and 2019, like all that needed to be changed was the date. What
Yeah,
else
but
are we
that's no
changing?
fun. They're not FFG. Let them make their own unique stuff.
Yeah.
Quit copy and pasting FFG stuff.
Did they say metal?
Wait,
or
wait,
just-
cheap. You
Yeah, they
can't
did
have
say
it both
metal.
ways. How are you going ahead and saying they can't copy and paste when that's what they've done with taking their GG's old
Well,
price
hold on.
support stock?
They haven't copied and pasted that. That was just leftovers.
Yeah, that's literally just push.
That's,
But
we have a
what's-
box of this shit. We gotta get rid of it.
Hold on. Judge, I would like to continue to put evidence in. Number 2, when we see our articles from the last OP season, we literally have seen copy and paste from some of the articles where locations were from the previous event.
And listen,
then
some of our episodes are pretty much copy and paste. So these things, they
All
happen.
of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they just...
There you go. GG, you are well
we actually
defended
re-recorded
here.
for some reason.
What? No, we never have re-recorded anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, that was called enhancing the stupidity of the episode.
Mhm.
I had fun with it. All right. So that's you're gonna get 16 haunted indicators. They are green in stock and ready to ship.
I did figure out the math when I added up
Oh,
what I
boy.
thought all this stuff was worth. It's about $100. Like if you were to put retail prices on everything, it's somewhere
what?
in that $100 range.
$30 for the deck books.
Yeah, they're $15 a piece. Yep, $13 for regular decks.
I was gonna say there should be $29.99 a piece.
No, those are books, not.
Oh yeah. Listen,
not the
inflation's
balls.
on the rise, man. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's get into the second organized play article. This came out on January 3rd, 2024.
Right.
I don't think anybody's hit it on the head yet. Not quite yet.
I got to talk about what happened in between.
Yeah,
In between
oh,
what?
He ran an event, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. You did. You ran a soapbox event. I don't remember what you ran.
Well, I ran a local ass event, and so
A local ass
Between-
event. I like it.
yep. Between Christmas and New Year's, we did a anti-sealed survival event, and so we did 3 sets. So show up to the store, and we had there every set. Although we apparently we ran out of coda like the week before, so we're actually out of coda. So we didn't have coda, and but we had every regular set, and so I was advertising and trying to get people to come, and we got 17 players, which I was
Woohoo!
super
Way to go,
excited
guys.
about. 17 in-person folks, and
Awesome.
we start. I'm shepherding people through the line cash register, chatting people up, whatever. And somebody
Are
grabs.
you using like
you know,
the "Hey, how you doing" line?
Yeah.
How you
Hey, How you
doing?
doing? Welcome to my ass event. So, and so then
I'm gonna use that
somebody
one at the
grabs
bar next time I'm
mass
out.
mutation, right? The last deck out of the mass mutation box. Okay, hey, go, grab the next mass mutation box. Well, there's just the shell of a box. Like there's no decks in it underneath. Like you open it, it's like, wait, this is an empty box. So it's like, wait, do we have any more? And then suddenly there's panic because we're out of mass mutation. And so I'm like, Carl, right, that's the guy who was a sword. Do we have more mass mutation? He's like, I got more of that one. He points at AOA.
Yeah, no.
And more what is it? The Tide one? I was like, okay. But no more. All right.
No
So we
no
got
more good stuff.
yeah, so people are like, uh-oh. So we have Woe. So people are grabbing Woe, and then we Worlds Collide, so people are grabbing that, and people are like, and Carl's still selling his AOA at discount, $9 a pop.
Cool.
And so people are like, I guess they're looking at the DT and they're like, ugh. And so they're buying AOA. And so people are buying AOA.
Wait. They're picking AOA over
Yeah.
DT?
Every day of the week. If
I
you
would
want to have
100% pick
fun,
AOA over
yeah,
DT.
You buy AOA.
And so
No.
everybody files in, like I'm like the last one. And so I'm like, Carl, you really, you don't have any more of this, that, the other. He's like, well, I got all these over here. And he opens up the box. He's like, yeah, all I have is a Tide one. And he holds up 2 boxes of MM. I'm like, Carl, that's not Dark Tidings. That's mass mutation. He looks at it, or that's so he looks at it. He's like, oh, whoops. And he puts them out. And so I'm like, So I go into the other room. I'm like, so guys, I know you just bought your decks, but, and I didn't do this to sell more decks, but there's MM still. And people look at me and they look down at their sealed AOA and they stand up and they get back in line and they buy up the MM. So Carl made out.
Nice scam.
Yeah. So actually we almost ran out of Worlds Collide. There was only one deck left because he didn't have any more Worlds Collide. So yes. So everything for folks there. We've got there you go, Drasker helping move AOA since 2019. Thank you, Lokakar. So yeah, so it was a great event. We had a lot of fun, and people seem to be enjoying just playing all sorts of different stuff, right? So the if you recall from our previous episode where we talked about the ASS format, though that time we did a alliance, this was not alliance. It was just you had to pick your deck. It was just sealed. So when you win with a deck, that deck's out, and so if you win, you have to pick one of your remaining decks. If you lose, you can keep using your decks. And 4th round, if you're still undefeated, you can pick from any of your decks, is what we did. Now I was like, ooh, what do we do if we go to 5 rounds? But there was a clear winner after 4 rounds. So we did not have to worry about what happened at the end of in the 5th round. It was a great time. Had a lot of fun. And thanks all for coming out and playing. We had the local folks, and then we had folks come in from Jersey. We had folks come in from Maryland. So it was a good time. It was a good time.
Wow, that's nice to have a local scene. Lucky you.
We didn't show up this
Yay.
last week because
Yay.
some of us were sick and lame.
Yeah.
I both.
Some of us were out of the country. Oh, wait, no, you weren't. Never mind. I lied.
That was
Yeah,
week
I know.
before.
Yeah.
But we didn't know because he didn't respond to anything.
Yeah, getting back in work was fun. But we're live. All is well.
Back into work. Wish that
Hey,
was
I'm
my
going to
life.
tell you, your event, Draz, sounded like it was a blast. It's a bummer that we weren't there,
was.
but I'm glad, one, you helped to support the local store with a few, additional deck sales, but 17 is a really respectable number to have. So, way to go.
Yeah, 17 times 4, I guess. 4 decks. So, yeah.
It's quite a bit. But Beyond that, we got more organized play news. I don't know who wrote this article. Did it say?
This
I don't
is
think
not
it did.
Gosh.
news.
What
was
do you
a
want to
recap.
call it then, sheep?
We got a recap of 23.
Okay, we got a recap of 23. Better?
Like, we basically did this article ourselves.
Yep.
Last week or last few
Didn't
times
do anything
we
last
had
week.
shows. You know what I mean. Facts don't matter.
Oh, yeah. No, they don't. But they did give you a kind of an overview of the 2023 season. Some people that got a shout. Was this just the Winter World Champion? Yeah, it just
Oh
was
no, no,
World
you're
Championship.
gonna have to start from the top, man. There's
Yeah.
so
All
much
right.
to pack.
Planning for the
Oh,
2024
I'm
Keyforge
taking a
Organized Play
nap.
season has been underway since we've concluded Keyforge Celebration last November. And we are excited. We are as excited as you are to start new journeys in both casual and competitive Keyforge. As we gather the last few pieces of Ember to forge that key, let's take a moment to reflect on 2023 Keyforge OP season.
Now, according to Sheep, there's no evidence of anything, but according to believing in the words that are here, there shall be both casual and competitive forging, meaning we should have organized play that is
Refer
to be looked.
to 2022 announcements.
Organized play in 2023 was a build-up year in many respects. We focused our efforts on reviving high-level competitive events for a game that had not had that type of publisher-level support for almost 3 years. These were big, splashy, joyous events for those of you who have stuck with the game for so long. In that regard, we consider the season a success. Archons heard the call, and we are extremely pleased to see you.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was true.
Funkashay.
Yeah.
Key insights, ancient battlegrounds. I don't know why they named it that. 3 major types of competitive
There's a card
events.
called Ancient Battlegrounds Wiki.
I am aware of that, but I don't know. What does that have to do
you
with
asked
this?
the question.
What does that got to do with this blurb?
I don't know, because
Well,
they like to try to use Keyforge cards.
Yeah, you gotta-
you
in
gotta
their
do it.
articles.
Yeah.
And you're going ahead and you're fighting it out in these 3 areas.
Sometimes it's just, you don't got to do that. Just 3 major types of competitive events were held in 2023: Vault Tours, National Championships, and World Championships. This year also saw a second iteration of our flagship event, Keyforge Celebration. There were 7 Vault Tours events around the world, with 5 in the United States, 1 in Italy, and 1 in China. These events welcomed a combined 792 players, each competing for prizes and invitations to the exclusive 2023 Keyforge World Championships. 720. That seems like a high number, does it not?
92? That's
792.
That's over 100 average. That's
So,
Yeah.
what is it? This
But that says unique.
is this unique?
Oh no,
No, it doesn't.
No,
doesn't
that's
say unique.
combined.
It's
No, it
unique.
does
It
not
says
say
total.
unique. I thought
So I went to 5. Is that true? 5 events?
I
Sounds
went to
that way.
5 of those events.
I
So
would
I
be
count 5
curious how-
times.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
be curious how many are unique versus total.
Yeah.
But the total
Some-
number is a little bit more, it's higher. And so
if
we're
we
gonna show
say
off.
on average, I would feel most people went to about 4.
No,
No,
2 at
no.
most.
2? Okay.
Most people.
So
Yeah, you're
Well, and
looking at
100 and whatever in the 2 foreign ones. Like they went to. That's it.
so let's
right?
say 3. So that would be 264 unique people.
I'm telling
Which
you,
We
if
guessed
we look-
500 at max.
I think that there is a core group that saw multiple different VTs, but I don't think that number is high. Again, we went through.
So this
that
says 12
previously.
different countries held national championships with
Yeah, it's already
approximately
national.
500 participants. They crowned
Okay.
23 national championships. The window of opportunity to sign up for these and run these was smaller than we would have liked, yet we are extremely thankful for the international partners who rose to the occasion. We're also pleased with the turnout for these events.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
The World Championship
I mean,
comprised...
Given
That's
that time
good.
frame, it wasn't
Well-
wasn't that bad.
So them saying that they're happy with that is meaningful to one of the things I've been saying is like are these numbers good enough?
Yeah, we don't
And
know.
in this
Well-
article, it says they're pleased. Pleased means good enough.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
I
not.
can
We'll get to that. Keep going. Keep going.
should I write that? It was all right.
Right. You sort of can't write that.
You
It's
can't
Yeah.
write be like, and you guys kind of suck this year. I mean, this isn't a Keyforge. This isn't a Keyforge player review session. Like,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
handing
no.
you your performance review. Like,
If you're
So if
about to
that's-
release one half the number of events this year, it's when the language was, attendance wasn't where we were hoping it would be, or something to that.
I don't think you
Then-
can put that either.
No, they
I think
don't-
you got to
they
keep
don't-
the bright, happy
Oh.
face on.
No, they don't need to.
Why? What?
So I'm going to be honest. I'm with Sheep on this. In my opinion, if they were not pleased, they simply would have left the last line out. They could have stopped right after that. Yet we are extremely thankful for the international partners who rose to the occasion. Done. Period. End of story. But because they added in the additional sentence, again, we're going to look into this further, which we probably don't need to. And there's some theory crafting here. But we're also pleased with the turnout for these events. That sentence was not necessary. And so by putting it in is a huge boost for us in.
Or is it
I'm
just
gonna tell you-
Or is it just a pep talk?
Yeah, I'm not going to call
I
that
mean,
a huge boost for me. I'm just going to say.
I'm going to tell you that is better. That is better than going ahead and not having it there. I think that line is important to me. It shows
Okay.
a positive that the company sees it as positive, that they were successful. We don't have a lot of insight into what they are claiming is successful or not. So them coming out and actually saying we're pleased, that is a positive statement.
The World Championship comprised of 2 prestigious invite-only events at Keyforge Celebration 2023, each featuring 32 players, 64 total, from around the world. Many international players traveled to compete, which truly made the event a global competition, which thus crowned the first 2 champions of Keyforge ever. Donut's dad, US, with the powerful Key Abduction
Yay.
Alliance, and Dorian 11, Italy, with his Archon, add Italian name here.
Yay!
We call it
Finally-
Gear Song.
Yeah, Gear Song.
Finally, we announced the plans for making the big Keyforge Party Keyforge Celebration an annual event where you will be able to come and celebrate the game you love with the people you enjoy for as long as we make Keyforge.
Keep going.
As long as we make Keyforge.
Keyforge Celebration will form the capstone for every season in the future and will always host the Keyforge World Championship.
And we kind of figured that when we have.
I thought they said
individuals
that
like
2
Ben.
years ago, that it's
Correct.
always
And
going
like
to be
Ben-
capped.
They're reinforcing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
They're
so-
reinforcing it. I mean, we have people who've already qualified for next year. So
So
it
let's
is
talk about
important to be able to-
lines that didn't really need to be added in there.
Well-
For as long as we make Keyforge.
Um,
Are you
mean-
not? How are you going to keep meeting if it's not making Keyforge? Then it's going to be a fan run event. Which,
But would that
happens for
not
other
kind
games.
of be a thing that we already would assume? Like, if they're not, I mean, isn't that kind of an assumption? Like, if they're not making Keyforge anymore,
Look,
they're not going to be
trying
running it?
They're trying to find words to reassure the complainers on this podcast that they plan on doing it for a real long time.
Yeah,
As
but
long as they
that
can keep
you
going.
did the exact opposite by adding that verbiage in there completely.
I don't know. That's nitpicky.
I don't think
I
so.
feel like we're crappy English professors being like, find the meaning of this book, which clearly has no actual meaning, but it's an assignment.
Hey,
So read into these words.
hey,
even though
books
they don't
have
mean
meaning.
nothing.
Books
Is
have
that
meaning.
is that what you put on your Lord of the Flies? This book has no meaning, and you got
No.
nothing. You're just like
Now, books certainly have meaning, but reading into every sentence the way they want you to in your stupid English lit classes is such a joke.
This is how I'm
It
trained,
does
and it's
take
all
the
I
fun
know,
away from
okay?
it, yeah. It does take away some of the fun of just reading.
All right.
So interesting listing of how the World Championships. Do they just list Alliance because Alliance is alphabetically first? Is it because it finished and they ran that first?
It's
keep
because
trying to put-
this is the hill they are going to die on.
Well, we
Yep.
see
Get to
that
the next
very
section.
clearly. Yeah. So
Well,
keep
somebody's
going.
gonna die on it.
All right. The two primary Alliance format, the two primary competitive formats in 2023 were Alliance and Archon. They were side tournaments, there were side tournaments at many events that also featured Sealed Alliance as a more casual format. Keyforge Celebration 2023 saw the Sealed Alliance briefly rise to the level of a major competitive tournament by using the format for the last chance qualifier LCQ. Sealed Alliance received nearly universal praise, with many enjoying the way it mitigates some of the traditional variants of single deck sealed events. This format saw quite a lot of attendance and success across the season wherever it was offered. We noted that that bothers me. We noted the players who participated in the LCQ found it particularly enjoyable to have high stakes sealed. As a new format targeted at new and returning players, we have been pleased with the performance of the Alliance format over the course of the season. While Archon, see, this is where, like, when you say we're pleased, they're happy with 10 people.
So yeah. So
That
when
is an
you
important
before
line.
we're talking about the
Let me
nationals
finish.
and the wording, and I was like, I'm fine with that. But then when I got to this part, I was like, wait, what?
I don't even remember. As a format targeted new
It
returning
was
player.
here
Okay.
a while.
All right.
I
While
can keep going.
Archons began and ended as the preferred format of while Archon began and ended as the preferred format of many, Alliance was present at every major tournament throughout the year. It was well attended at the Florence Vault Tour and Keyforge Celebration. Once the final keys at Keyforge Celebration were forged, many approached us to express their love and appreciation of the Alliance format. Lies.
Well,
lies.
so how many times? How many times
Keep going.
did the three players approach?
Okay.
So
number one, they are pleased with the performance of Alliance. See, and this is where, like, we want to talk about, like, we're nitpicking at the top with they were pleased with it. So what you're telling me is you are pleased with the 13 people that came to play Alliance at most of the events.
They're
Yeah,
really easily pleased people.
Like
there is
they're all
an
in. This is what it
argument
is. Yeah.
that I saw that in non-US countries, Alliance is doing better than it does here, and they haven't had enough events there to be real meaningful. So maybe it's just not a US thing. Could be that. Could be that Alliance is stanky. I know it's that.
Well,
anyway.
and here's the other part. While Archon began and ended as the preferred format of many, Alliance was present at the major tournaments throughout the. It was where was the part where they were like, oh, people liked Sealed Alliance. There was no other option.
Okay, so there.
But I see that as a good signal, at least, though.
Yeah. Sealed Alliance is in paragraph 2. We are talking paragraph 3 for just Alliance.
Yeah.
What we want to be able to look at for Alliance as a whole. There was a big debate. Well, I wouldn't even say big debate, because to be honest, the Discord has been pretty quiet over this holiday season.
Because there's nothing happening.
I can't disagree with you, but I'm going to tell you, as someone who was out of country, who actually had some time to be able to read and was looking around, I kept coming back going, oh, there's nothing new.
And then he clicked on Lorcana.
Which is also dead.
Lorcana is nowhere near from dead, sir, but continue.
I'm not here for that. And for Keyforge to be able to talk about this. But for me, it was a little bit sad to see, kind of waiting just for information. The little bit of information that did pop this week was in regards to internationally, we have seen more support for Alliance. And I can see that from even teammates who are more willing to practice and for the attendance at the Florence Vault Tour. I personally took a little objection to Keyforge Celebration. This, in my opinion, was not. We're linking it. We're being able to show you're basically offering money to be able to play, and you had a last chance qualifier.
I don't think you're talking about the Worlds. You're talking about the Open, like more as a honest thing of count of people who, because that's where you really had a choice, was in the Open.
This is where I'm talking about it, Dan, is that after you had your initial people who had gone ahead and qualified, the people who didn't qualify had a choice. And so you saw that
in the Open Alliance tournament
that we can go. Yeah. And look, I don't know that number off the top of my head. I know that there were some that were there. I do think that it offers, you have a number of people who are strong advocates for Alliance. It is definitely not for the majority. And I think that some people on the forums took
Alliance Open had 22.
Banging numbers.
How many were Archon?
65.
65, right? And that's when you already have 64 players playing in a different event.
And some of them weren't necessarily in the format they really wanted, maybe.
Right. So
I mean, but that's just a couple of people, really.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not sitting here saying like you need to kill it or whatever, right?
I mean,
There's
kill it
folks
dead.
who are
Kill it with fire.
Disappointed.
Percentage wise, if a format gets 25% of the crowd, that's actually not really that bad.
Kill it dead. Fire.
But I don't know. I like they can't be happy with those numbers. Like I got to imagine really what they're thinking. I mean, their new great idea didn't really do what it said in terms of bringing new players, and wasn't a huge hit with the majority. It was with some, but not with the majority of existing players. Now, I think they're still thinking, hey, we still have the same strategy. We haven't given it a chance to work, maybe, or something like that, because like we haven't done local events yet. So I'm thinking what they're saying here is they're saying, yep, we're basically everything wasn't as high as maybe we were hoping. So we're just going to say everything was good, and we're just going to keep with the same strategy going forward. They might be adding sealed. That is what I'm hearing. They're considering it based on what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, but it's going to be sealed Alliance, and I just
that's fine.
I'm still longing for the days of buy 3 pick 1. Longing.
I am
for the days.
too, but that difference is smaller.
It's not the the hill.
You
I
can
want to
still
die.
choose to buy 3 pick 1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also choose to slam my foot in a door. I choose not to.
You could choose to let me slam your foot in the door.
You are 100%. You are right. I could.
Two of us
I
get
could
to have
do
fun.
that. Yep, I could do that.
I think that there were multiple podcasts and other Keyforge outlets that have gone ahead and talked in addition to us, that basically the event when you're offering a new set, Sealed Alliance is just a horrible way to be able to do that. You don't know enough of the card base. So I think that has already been spoken quite extensively. I think that actually offers our largest ability to be able to see just sealed with standard 3 deck pick 1 for the future. I think there seems to be still some confusion.
Don't even do that. Do 3 deck ass or
survival.
3 deck survival.
Well, you could do any of those. I'm also seeing
actually makes a better event.
I can't disagree with you. I think there also seems to be some confusion between local OP and then a more of our Vault Tour large event OP. For our local, no, I don't want to have 3 deck, choose one or a line.
Only have one style of OP. You can say local all you want, but we don't actually have local OP.
But what is talked about on the top, and again, we don't have any follow through yet, but I do believe that Josh is working on it. I do believe GG is working on it, and I see this, that there will be both a local OP and
I think right now they're working on packaging game phones.
No, it specifically says in both casual and competitive forging. And so in a competitive format, 3 deck, choose one, or our Sealed Alliance those are survivable things for me. I still think 3 deck, choose one is a better choice. But again, that is not a hill I care to die on. But in my for local stores, I don't want to be walking in having to pay 3. It's a limiting factor monetarily for a number of
Nobody says you got to do that for this is Vault Tour high level stuff. Nobody says you have to walk into your store, buy 3 decks, pick one.
But Wookie, that's the problem. Is for some reason that's what has been told to GG, and that's what they're feeling. That's what keeps coming out.
I don't know who's telling them.
Statements.
I don't know who is telling them this.
I understand, but I want to be very, very, very clear for our
Call me
locals being
up
able
on-
to choose,
Call us up
being
on
able to
Discord, bruh. Just
being-
I'm literally a
being
click
able
away.
to choose, being able to choose one. Here's one sealed deck is great. If you really want to push it, here's two, and you can make your sealed alliance, or go ahead and pick one from those two. Those are achievable in the monetary source for a quick 3 hours for a weekly night.
You want to know
When you
what
go
me and
to a
Sheep-
vault tour or a larger event, a lot of people are traveling. You're hoping to gather the larger area, the surrounding area around that vault tour area, and you're hoping that it's going to be a week-long event. When you have that, 3 deck. No, the weekend is really what we're talking. But in that manner, you're going ahead, and 3 decks, being able to choose one is a more appropriate stance for that larger event.
All right, let's continue.
I say the one casual event they did run was 3-deck Alliance last year, which was our pre-release.
Yep.
Was actually
but was
designed to be run as 3-deck Alliance.
What was great is me and Sheep went to one, and we went, "Are we doing Alliance or is it pick one?" And a guy looked at us and go, "What's Alliance?" Oh, fantastic. Anyways, we're particularly enjoyed seeing the creativity.
Before you go there,
Yep.
I think I still have another objection with this idea that for Alliance that it goes ahead and is easier for new players. And I don't know why.
Why do we cover it?
We're not covering new players. This is vault tours.
No, but we have covered this multiple times. I get.
So why are we doing it again?
Why? Because it needs to be stated that when we have an event, it is not new player friendly to be able to go ahead and say, "Hey, you don't know the card pool. Go ahead and instead of choosing one and playing it,
you
hey,
just said that
go ahead and put
15 minutes ago." Like we know. Like I don't think anybody doesn't know that, but they are stuck on new players want choice, and Alliance gives choice. They don't care about difficulty. This game is one of the worst games for entry-level difficulty. The rules are whack-a-mole rules. You cannot read the rule book and come to the conclusions that you get when you ask rules questions. Like you can't do it because the rules don't make any damn sense. Like you gotta infer from this card that they did make a ruling about that's how it's gonna work over here, but then it doesn't really work over there. Like this game is about as on new player friendly for competitive level play as it gets. Now, casual, and it doesn't matter if you get a few rules wrong, this is fine, right? This game is, all games are fine. Like if you're not really worried about getting the rules right. And you're right, like adding Alliance and having to read and understand cards adds nothing to being able to pick up and play this game. But there's like new player thing they're talking about are new players that are going to come to vault tours who want choice. I don't think these people are real either, but I think that's what they're trying to talk about. Not, I don't know how to play card games, I'm going to show up at my locals. That's a totally different group of people that they are not designing events for.
So can we have a little questionnaire as we come in with as you're signing into play style? Is this your first vault tour event that you've attended? Because right now, I don't see the data to be able to back this up, and it seems to keep coming back from GG. So maybe there's data that they have that they feel
good entry point right now. That's the problem. Is we keep talking about how vault tours need to be friendly because there is no other entry point to this game. So that's the problem. Is there is not another entry point, and the only thing that you can do with this game, if you're interested in it, if there isn't a informal local group or a formal local group that doesn't actually have prize support, is go to a major top-end tournament. It's your only choices to enter this game. It's like going to a chess tournament and be like, you can only sit with grandmasters. There's no separation by skill. It's all one bucket. Enjoy. Like that's how Keyforge is right now. It's like just dive right into the deepest end there is and see if it's a fun.
And the answer to that is no, it's not.
No, it is fun. Come on.
For those of us,
fun.
No, it's not fun getting your ass kicked time and time again. Sorry, it's not.
Yeah, being able to swim in the deepest end of a pool when you're not ready for it. Is not a great experience for
Because
anybody.
I was gone for a little while, and the game has changed. And getting kicked in the crotch time over time is not, it's not really particularly
Let
fun.
me say, kicking you in the crotch is an enjoyable experience.
I'm sure it is.
It's very fun. Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Some of us don't enjoy it, but we particularly enjoyed seeing the creativity of Keyforge players develop as they explored the format that produced their decks. The season saw several types of alliances emerge as archetypes, such as Infernus Control, Dark Ember Value Tempo, Mars Key Cheats, and Legionary Trainer Tempo. The format saw some of these deck types win more than others. We're looking at you, Key Abduction, but it's not one note. Players were able to find the variety and creativity that we believe is the cornerstone of Alliance. Except they're not. The set that seemed to support and emerge core strategies of Alliance rose to be some of the most played sets all season. Winds of Exchange, Mass Mutation, and Age of Ascension all had equal top showings, despite Winds of Exchange very consistent showing up as a large portion of most fields. Call the Archons saw the fewest, shocker. Alliance top spots among sets represented. Sets choices were a very interesting aspect for us to explore. The unique
Call of the Archons was.
We're getting into that. Let me just finish this, please. The unique way in which Keyforge handles a semi-constructed environment led to very interesting choices, and an archetype metagame has developed that Keyforge hasn't really had before. We think this format is a great blend of elements that pure constructed games have to offer with heavy dose of Keyforge unique magic. Yes, Call the Archon got the most kick to the pants.
And it still showed up more than DT.
And also won one of the bigger Alliance Vault Tours.
Yeah. And
so, kick it to the pants all you want.
DT
Still could deliver. DT
right?
worst set.
DT worst set, I think.
I mean, Vault Masters doesn't show up in this at all.
Yeah, there's like 3 decks of Vault Masters, though. But, DT worst set.
DT worst set.
Agreed.
Okay. Did you guys click on any of the decks that they provided as links?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay, so Infernus Control, because this is the type of
that's the first one that ever won. That's Jason's.
Mine shows up blank.
It's showing Infernus Control. There's 2 Infernus and Jason's.
It's an Infernus and Control deck, but it's really Infernus Tempo deck.
Well, and it's
the fact that he can't name the decks to their actual thing. Oh well.
No,
yeah, I mean,
I'm not seeing that.
This is a Chronos Draw archive deck.
Correct. This is very much an pip heavy. That's what we saw. And I guess that's it, is maybe because I'm more on the inside here.
That deck, regardless of how he tried to name it and how it actually played, the fact that they didn't hit that right, I think, okay, oh darn. But that is the first tour winning deck, right? So
yeah. It's a good build.
Okay. And the second one is Gorlami's.
Yeah, so that's Dark Amber Value Tempo. And again, you're seeing Pips Control.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Pip, but that one was playing the way all decks are tempo things with Pips, right? And it's just the Jason's was Infernus and Controls, where Gorlami's was more tempo through extra draw and Amber Control. Funny, the Mars Key Cheat one, which makes you think you're going to see a Martian Generosity deck, was actually Z's Battlefleet shenanigans.
Yep.
And then that Legionary. So if you look, Legionary Trainer Tempo, those are 3 separate decks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just one deck.
Which is why when you scroll over it, each of them will highlight for Legionary Trainer and Tempo.
But there are 3 different Legionary Trainer Tempo decks that they put out, because that is a pretty serious deck. The second one, right? Or no, Legionary, that's mine. And then I actually don't know who the other 2 belong to. But those are, I think those are all event-winning decks, right? Or mostly event-winning decks.
So here, when we look at this alliance, anyone can just grab 3 decks, throw it together, and you're going to go ahead and be successful. You're making
Yep,
it easy.
absolutely.
Absolutely. You've nailed it.
100%.
Got it. Okay, well, let's move on.
As
then.
long as
We
they got
go to-
legionary trainers.
Or key abduction, multiple battle fleets.
I disagree with that. I do
I
think
don't know
it said Call of
That
the
takes a little
Archon.
more.
Yeah, Call of the Archon saw the fewest alliance top spots, and again, we had talked extensively about this because they were absolutely hammered by the restricted list, absolutely hammered, and so that is no shocker.
I am still under the belief of get rid of the restricted list.
Yeah, no.
Find out what your problem children are before you make a problem child list.
Don't hate it.
How do you know what your problem children are going to be? Like, how do you know any of those things are going to pop up at all and be successful before you actually let people play with it?
There's an innate problem in that we have pods that keep cards together. My common cards will show up more regularly. So if I'm going to go ahead and restrict a common card, it may go ahead and just take out individual pods that I don't need that common card.
Great,
at
but you
all.
can't say that like
Aren't
this
you
card.
just arguing the exact same thing that Wookiee's arguing for? Is that the restricted list just ruins
There shouldn't be a
half the
restricted
stuff
list.
you can do?
Like, you can't say like, oh, this card's definitely going to be an issue for me. And then, but like, you never actually knew if it was going to become a problem, right? Like Magic and all these cards don't ban cards before they know. Like, nobody knew Oko was going to be a problem until they're like, oh shit, this card's causing a problem. And even then, it took a months to make a decision on it.
Yeah. And what became very evident last year, if they're going to follow suit, is that they want to have their restricted list for the whole season and then run with it, which makes sense because if you buy a pod or you're investing in it, it's really frustrating. And if all of a sudden it changes, we also in Keyforge are a much smaller community. And so we lack the data to be able to show this large amount of information.
You lack the data to show any of the cards that were on the restricted list are a problem.
Wookiee's argument of like,
I am not disagreeing.
Don't artificially create a restricted list. Like, just let it go rampant for a bit.
Yeah, we're very much playing Wizard of Oz. We're the wizard.
And I'm not saying that like a list shouldn't at some point in time maybe be constructed, but like you basically
earn it.
Yeah, let cards or let them be a problem, and then you can say, all right, guys, this became a problem. We got to do something about it because like all these decks that they're like focusing on. And they're kind of like, oh, these are the decks. And I'm guessing those are the decks they're also looking at that are like, oh, these might be an issue coming down the line. There are answers for these decks, but you banned all the cards that are the answers.
Well, a lot of older players can't play their Coda because they'd be playing their Control the Weeks and Time Traveler decks.
Great.
Those are their good cards and they were all banned. So it did definitely prevent people from bringing out their old stuff.
But just having Time Travelers Control the Week doesn't make a deck good. I got lots of decks with Control the Week. Most of them suck.
I think there's potentially an interesting thought on if there was no banned list, but it was clear that if anything becomes too successful, it might become banned. That does an interesting thing to what people would buy and try, and it might actually reduce people trying to build the absolute most broken thing by buying ridiculous stuff.
People by nature are going to build the most broken stuff they can to try to win, and I think that's fine.
Reduce and control the pricing a little bit because it has a better chance of getting taken away.
You know what controls pricing? Deck Ascension. However, Archon it 100% would. Archon format. Players showed their love for Archon format this year, making up nearly 2/3 of all attendance at nearly every event. This was to be expected as a preferred format of established players, a direct continuation of the format known previously as Archon Solo.
Why is it that it's just believed that it's preferred by established players versus
new players too?
Yes, I mean that's
because this is the narrative we're trying to write.
Yeah. Because facts only matter to the people writing or saying. I've told you that many times on the show. Facts don't matter. I'm telling the story.
So
Oh,
this
actually,
is like,
you know
this
what
is
it
like
is?
history. If you
History
is
control
wrong-
one,
his-
you control history. Got it.
That's right.
There is some
You got
truth
it.
because new players preferred sealed. So continue.
Like the Alliance format, Archon saw plenty of Winds of Exchange and Mass Mutation. Age of Ascension was present. I like how they got to add. It was there. It did a thing.
I mean, more than some other stuff.
It's true, but nowhere near as many were seen at tables as an Alliance. Worlds Collide and Call of the Archons seem to take half the top tables as the dominant sets. Several decks ascended to greatness throughout the season.
Whoa!
I feel like it should. I feel like it should be like Pee Wee's Playhouse.
That's a
Like,
thread.
do you ever remember Pee Wee's Playhouse? Like the word of the
Yes,
day is
please.
ascension. Ah!
Ascension.
Everybody goes crazy. They
Okay,
took multiple wins for a single person, qualified multiple people to the World Championships, and came just shy of those by making multiple top 4s or top 8s. These decks and their accolades include Gear Song, first place of
Hold on,
Florence.
hold on. Pause.
Pause.
Because I feel we're already past this point, and it's really frustrating. When we correlate data, it says Worlds Collide and Call of Archons seem to take half of the top tables, but we keep repeating certain decks. I think that the more important data point that needs to be looked at and addressed is how many unique decks are showing up. How many decks per each of the sets that are unique. I think it's also interesting to see how many unique pilots are going with those as well.
Nobody
That's a
cares about
separate line.
pilots. Pilots
Well,
only
but-
make up 30% of the issue. 70% is the deck. You can continue to bang this thing about pilots. Pilots don't matter. Clearly,
Jockey, not a pilot.
whatever. Ooze,
why-
second place in
why-
Roseville,
why
third
don't
place
you
at
go ahead? No,
Seattle,
no.
top 8 at U.S. Championship, qualified for 2024 Championship. Pilot doesn't matter.
But that's the exact opposite argument that Ooze provides. Is that if you look
What?
at who ran, yes, because you had different
You
pilots
are
going ahead and running it.
Right. You had different pilots, meaning the deck runs it fucking self. It's so
Oh.
good. It literally
So
can take
it-
anyone to a top 8 except for Drazcor. I don't know. That's a weird one.
I got
Oh.
top 8 twice on
Oh.
that deck.
That never mind then. So the deck is so good it can even take Drazcor to a top 8.
That's a better joke.
There you go.
Wow. What about all the
Oh.
individuals who made it to Worlds with multiple different decks that were there?
They
Then I
have multiple.
suppose they have the ability.
They have multiple
Yeah.
good decks. Hi, Team
There-
Sass.
So it just
What-
it
what
just
do-
comes down to they have multiple decks. So it's all. So you're 100% on that. This is based on the deck and has
70-30.
0 impact. Oh, it's a
70-30. 70-30 split. I have said from day one it is a 70. I originally was 80-20. I gave you guys 10% on RNG, so now it's 70-30. I've conceded the 10% to RNG because sometimes she is a cruel mistress.
I mean, draw better is
That's
our
right.
main strategy.
That's
on
right.
this podcast.
So, I mean,
So.
just saying, like, it is about the decks. Like, you continue to see this same Gear Song. You guys know it. Ooze, you guys know it. Jacques, you guys know it. Fraud.
I don't think
we
anybody
suck.
else other
We
than
s-
Nova is winning all that with
Did I get it
Jacques.
right?
We have someone here on the cast. How did Jacques work for you, Sheep?
That's because he can only play combo.
But you're going ahead and saying it's the deck. So
Oh,
I don't
I'm
understand this.
insulted. That deck
So,
is combo.
so you have one deck that proves your point, and I have 3 sitting in front of me that say otherwise.
I think
Ooze
there are,
did it
I
3
think there are
times.
many different decks that can go ahead and prove differently. But okay.
There are many different decks. Nobody's arguing that, but there are a collection of decks that
That are
are
strong.
very consistently thing. Now, I don't even know what the hell we are arguing about here. So I don't even know what you two guys are even trying, what point you guys are trying to
He
make.
is trying to tell me that this is the classic Keyforge argument. It's all about the player. It's about the trainer, not the Pokemon.
It's
I can
not
take
about,
my
it's
magic
not a-
carpet. It can be great. but it
No,
can't.
it's not 100% on the player, but it's also not a 70-30 split.
It is. What would you say?
What? Why do we even care? That has nothing to do with what we're even trying to talk about right now.
We can't get into this at a later
Fake
point.
numbers that you're just pulling out from gut, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I'm all for gut numbers, but like they're not going to reach us anywhere in what we're trying to accomplish tonight.
All right,
All
so
right.
what we were trying to accomplish, last paragraph that we had just read, several decks ascended to greatness throughout the season. We're reiterating.
Ascended.
And so that's what you want to focus on. They took multiple wins for a single person, qualified multiple people to the world championships, or came just shy of those by making multiple top 4s or top 8s. These decks and their accolades include. Now, as we go through Gear Song, the Ooze That Trains, Jacques, and Pink Fraud, how do you feel about Fraud?
I'm going to say the only reason I think this list even exists
is because it's Josh.
It's because Josh was being like, I know, Sheep, you sucked, so at least I can drop your deck name in.
Or these are the 4 decks that are 100%. Or these are the 4 decks that are 100% getting ascended and no longer legal at Vault.
No, I mean, I think this is the type of recap you want. So let's just pretend the game grows over time. You want a season recap where it's like, here's some of the big name decks, right? Like here, like, no, this is what you want to do.
I thought this was written by Josh, and I thought I'd read
it. It is
this.
written by Josh.
Yeah. And so to be able to see this, I see it the same as you, Sheep. This is the accolades shouting out to each of those individuals.
They're still sucking up to
those
Sheep.
of you who have suffered more than others.
I love it. They're still sucking up to you. Archon is a format which shows the classic Keyforge is all, or shows what classic Keyforge is all about. Unique decks doing unique things and showing up to earn a gaggle of accolades. The decks themselves were as characters in a story of the season, making their own narratives for one event to the next. We had a great time watching the continued success of players and decks. Great. Special shout out is deserved for one player, one very special player, special to our hearts.
This one goes out to you, girl.
This goes out to you. Who made the effort to attend all U.S. Vault Tour and the U.S. National Championships. Big Z, the prolific player known well by the larger Keyforge community, was able to reach the top 4 of all but one of these events, often using his signature deck, Pink Jacket. Yep, that's all I'm going to say because the rest of that's horrible. He was dedicated to Archon early in the season, but shifted to, oh my God, I didn't read this portion. But then shifted to Alliance after the Vault Tour in Seattle. He won Vault Tour Las Vegas in the Alliance format, and then participated in the 2023 Alliance World Championships, despite also qualifying for Archon. Congratulations on a great performance all season, Big Z. More Alliance propaganda.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're trying to spin his story into that, which what the real spin of that story is, I'm sick of playing at the top tables with my team and knocking them out. And at going into Worlds, it's more of my team is playing in Archon than Alliance. So spread the field.
Mm-hmm.
It had quite a bit to do with that, and not, Alliance is this great format. He had fun playing Alliance, so nothing wrong with that.
It is still Keyforge. I did too.
But yes,
but I went ahead
and
joined Alliance for that same purpose. I didn't want to knock out a teammate. Why?
Well, that and building busted stuff is also fun. Like, it is fun, but
I did not build it. I literally grabbed the deck from Devin, Flaming Hobo, and that's what I played in days.
And then, although it was through a convoluted set of situations, you did play another one of Devin's decks at Worlds. Huh, how about that?
True.
Weird. Playing with style. Players also saw the introduction of Play Style, developed by Ghost Galaxy's sister company, to the Keyforge competitive space during the 2023 season. It was used primarily by Ghost Galaxies, but several international partners were given access to run their own Keyforge event as part of the closed beta testing of playstyles. During the season, playstyle went through many
Iterative.
Iтерatives. I don't have my glasses on. Don't cheese me. I don't have my glasses on. Changes throughout the season. I'm getting
Sure,
old,
old
by the
man.
way.
Bring out your bifocals.
I am getting old. I actually need glasses now to read things. It's quite embarrassing. Yeah, changes throughout the season, including the introduction of our flagship tournament format, Playstyle 2LO.
Except when you are 1LO.
Sometimes you're 1LO. Ghost Galaxies is pleased to have helped improve this exciting software and new tournament format. We believe the Playstyles is well on its way to becoming a robust offering we'll use extensively in the future.
Yes, 1LO did hurt.
Call of the Archons. Prepare your decks, box your tokens, and put your new set of put on your new set of sleeves. Because news on the 2024 organized play season is coming soon. There was a lot to be happy about in 2023. But we are committed. Sheep, they're committed to delivering even a greater number of experiences in 2024.
That means there's going to be more events, boys and girls.
More tournaments. More play kits. That means if they produce one, they have produced 100% more play kits than they did last year.
Yeah, but
not
more
true.
tournaments.
There was the pre-release.
Oh, do they have a kit?
Yeah.
It came in a box.
There was a chain tracker from 2020.
It said some things on it. I probably have one sitting on my desk.
But guess
here
what?
For it.
After there's going to be more kits, there's going to be more support. And just plain
sounds more like a bra than in a. Yeah.
For some of us people, we do need a little more support.
All we're talking about is support.
Yep.
I would enjoy Keyforge underwear.
And just plain more.
Plain more
Keyforge. Do we need to make Keyforge underwear now?
Yeah.
My wife would not like it when the fuzzy Gruen comes out.
Yeah, what house is the undies? Yeah, I mean, you should collect them all, right? Like,
yep.
Unfathomable.
We just give them all the ideas, like unfathomable underwear. Just playing more Keyforge. We hope you join us forging ahead in this world we all know and love. Archons, as always, see you in the Crucible. One thing to note. For 2023 top finishing alliance decks, almost every set is represented except for DT. There was no DT deck at all.
For Archon?
For Alliance.
For Alliance, yeah.
And there's also that one. What was that one set that they came out with? Oh man, they didn't release a ton of it. What was it called again?
With Vaultmaster.
Vaultmaster. That's right. That deck that everybody wants. That deck that one person wants banned. Not even in Alliance. And then finishing in the Archon, DT had two. Oh, I guess they had some Nationals finish, huh?
Yeah, that was from the Nationals. Yeah.
So and then
effectively not there.
Maybe one Vaultmaster's deck. I don't know. The slice of the pie is so small they couldn't fit a number in it.
Yeah. So effectively, those don't matter there.
But in the open, wasn't one of the decks that was in the open that was finishing high? Wasn't that the Vaultmaster deck?
I think that was the one that what's his name went up against.
Yeah, so it took seconds, and then you see top finishing decks are defined as top 4 for tournaments greater than 8, and top 2 for tournaments less than 8. So I believe that's where the Vaultmaster came
Probably,
from.
more than likely. Yeah. That is all we know about OP in 2024 thus far. We have gotten a promise that there will be a world championship, and we have gotten a promise that there will be more tournaments, more kits, more support, and more Keyforge.
Okay. I got a question for you guys.
You can
or what's going on? So 2023 top finishing decks.
Mm-hmm.
There are 94 decks represented in that circle.
Yep.
Which you'd assume this means top 8s. Oh, maybe there are a couple that are only top 4s that they collected data for.
there are
Yeah,
also a
top
few,
four, yeah.
yeah, because there's, I mean, Ooze is on there 3 times? Is it
Well, yeah,
counted
but
as
it
3?
should show up. Who knows? I guess yes.
Just, I mean, I thought it was a valid question, but
Yeah, I don't know. That was something that JR was asking about. Is
How many?
this unique? Is this like there were 17 unique Worlds Collide decks, or there are 17 decks total? But I wonder if the Grand Championships were only counted to top 4 instead of top 8.
not a clue.
You mean nationals?
Yes, same thing.
Well, but even there, it says
There was
top.
10, 11,
it says
12 of those. That'd be 12 at 4.
yeah, it says top 4 for tournaments greater than 8. So
That's
if we have the
48.
information.
And then there was 7 at 8, 56 and 48 is 104. So that doesn't really add out either. I don't know. I don't know how you come up with 94 decks on this list.
Well, they probably didn't double count Ooze, for example, right? So you might be able to, if you figure it out, you might be able to figure out how many repeats there are. Maybe. I'm making that up.
I don't think.
All right, well, here's what we should do.
Not
figure this
certain,
out.
but I don't actually. At least in the U.S. Vault Tours, there were not 1, 2, 3, 4. There were not 9 other AOA decks or 9 other Coda decks that I know of. So those would all had to come out of country, which I guess is quite possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I wonder how this data was collected because there are only 94 decks in that selection, and there are significantly less, right? What's in this other selection in Alliance? How many are in there? 23, 12, 18, 8, and 19. That's only 80 decks. Now, there were 2 regionals or whatever you want to call them that we know didn't really run Alliance or didn't get counted. But 94 versus...
But International loved Alliance.
And Alliance, like, even some of the decks that finished well, they were switching some pods around in, so you can't call them the same deck. So yeah, I have no idea what these lists of decks actually represent because their numbers don't.
They're not jiving.
They don't drive to like tournament countouts that are naturally occurring to me.
Yep, sure.
That's weird.
Well, here's what I think. We're still on track for them to announce this on my prediction date.
What was your prediction date?
Yeah,
January
I'm past
18th.
with Christmas. Thanks.
On our cast on January 18th. So, Josh, Jeremy, whoever's going to be announcing this, you still have a little bit of time to contact us to get on the 18th for us, then release it to the public. You can listen to it live here, or you can, listen to it after the fact recorded. So reach out to us because that's when you guys need to do your big OP announcement. Get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So in 13 days?
Yeah, that's right.
I do love the fact that Playstyles has moved all of their damage tokens from Keyforge to just Lorcana. I think that's quite funny.
Wait, what?
So they took, you've seen the Playstyles damage and all their stuff that for Keyforge when they made the tokens.
Wait, Playstyle?
I'm sorry, luxury playstyle. I should probably say that.
Luxury playstyle, yeah. Oh, because they made them purple. I did see that.
I thought that was kind of humorous.
Yeah. I actually stopped by their booth at PAX Unplugged and asked about Keyforge. They said they didn't bring any. I was like,
now that you guys say my deck showed up on a list and keep threatening to take it away from me, which thanks guys.
The only person threatening the only person who's threatening to take it away from you is me.
Okay. What are you going to do about taking away Alliance decks? Because there was one Alliance pod that showed up in many and one multiple.
But that's the best format ever, and nothing's wrong with it. So why would you even suggest that? Yeah,
shred it. Just shred it.
Just shred it.
I to be honest with you, I think it was probably about a month ago we talked about Deck Alliance now, and I haven't thought about it much since then. Like, as far as like, how would you handle?
I've thought about it quite a bit.
Well, it sounds like we can talk about it again next week.
Now it's my
Nice.
chance to defend Alliance for a second, which is
Okay.
I don't actually see any reason at this point now that I've suffered through a season with Alliance, I don't see much value in removing it. I know
it's just going to disappoint people, right?
Well, there are a small, and it is
Yeah.
small. There are a
Yep.
small number of people who wouldn't come out at all if Alliance wasn't a choice, right?
True.
Now, those people also don't mean anything to me because I'm off playing real Keyforge while they're playing, I don't know, glue together Keyforge, whatever you want to call it.
Together Keyforge.
Ultimately, the overall success of the game, both of us are meaningful. All of us are meaningful, right?
Yep.
So, like, there's no problem. And I don't. The other argument I've seen, which I think is bunk, is that Alliance is why we don't have sealed. But I think clearly from the language CTP had put out previous is, I don't think, even if we didn't have Alliance, I don't think sealed would have been a primary tournament format because he had vocally said that he did not think that was good, right? He did not like sealed as a primary vault level competitive thing. And, hopefully from this article and the saying is like, he can take feedback, hopefully, and people consistently hearing that, hey, we want to play sealed and we want to win cool shit when we play sealed means we can have it. Now, does it have to be at the cost of Alliance? Because if they, so just playing quick bullshit numbers with you guys here, we have 100 players, right? And a current 100 player event is approximately 2/3 Archon, 1/3 Alliance, right? Like that's their approximate numbers, give or take a little bit.
I guess.
Which
but
seems
my
a little
question,
juice to me. I think it's more, 75-25.
because my question too is like, how many people went, holy crap, I might have a better opportunity in Alliance.
Well, whatever.
So I'm just going to meander over here. Like, if Alliance wasn't offered, do you know what I mean? Like, because it seems like an odd number because how many people are like,
But you're
oh,
not
there's only
letting me
17 players over there. All I got to
You-
do is like win 3 games and I can make top 8.
This doesn't have to do with my argument.
Okay.
So we don't need to. There is some division. I don't care what it actually is. This is where our bullshit numbers come in, right? So if and I'm saying like from their numbers, we say it's 66-33 right now, right? Whether that's actually accurate or not. Now, if the two events were Archon and Sealed, I think your player percentage would be like 60-40 in favor of Sealed, potentially, if you had to pick between the two. I think you'd be somewhere 60-40 and maybe even more like 70-30, but I think the favor goes to Sealed. Anybody disagree with that?
Nope.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you. My question is, why are we splitting? We're doing this with Archon and Alliance.
No. You're on to not my point I'm making right now.
I know, but that's what still drives me crazy. We're too small.
But you also only have so many hours in a weekend to do things, so you can't run everything one after another. That's how I put my ideal super
VT.
realistic. I mean, yes, I know. I've been to the 3-day jam events with you. I enjoy them as well. It is murder, especially it's murder on a company who is running an event on 4 staff members. You can't run that event on 4 staff members. And that's what they are running their events on. That's why it doesn't work under GG's things, because they're trying to do it with no staff. Anyways, so what's the next choice is they put Alliance, Archon, and Sealed. And I think if you had all 3 as a choice, say they're running concurrently, and we're percentages, not numbers, although numbers are a thing, like if all 3 of them there, I think you're like 5% Alliance, right? Like 5% of Alliance players, 5 people or 5% pick Alliance. 5 people pick Alliance over Sealed and Archon, and those 2 stay where they are. So it'd be like 5, 70, and 25 or something. And then it's a trash because now your Archon and your Alliance events are too small to run.
Which is
Is-
why Alliance did knock out Sealed, because there's a fanaticism about Alliance at the top. And they realized they couldn't do the math of all of them together. And so they said, well, we believe in this thing as the future. And so sacrifice the thing that's
my math is
actually
showing is you
more popular.
can't really run Sealed alongside the other formats.
No, we can't. We're way too split already. We don't have the
We're-
staff to do it.
We're not split. We're too small. There's just
Correct.
not
We're-
enough players.
too small.
There is
Yeah.
not enough. There's not enough players, and the staff that are there. It's just too small of a group to be able to support it properly.
But
It's a
that's-
combination. It's a combination.
So like I don't see a reason to take, especially if they're going to, and if they have that where there's like a tier of events or something that primarily focuses on Sealed, which we think is going to be store level stuff, but whatever, that primarily focuses on Sealed with cool prizes. Then if Sealed isn't going to become one of the primary cash, saying there's cash again next year, which we also don't know, I don't see any reason to get rid of Alliance. I don't think it is actually detracting that much from the overall event by those 20 or 30 players not playing in the primary event.
But I really do believe Alliance is the reason we don't have Sealed.
I don't think that is true at all. I don't think there was going to be Sealed at those level events because Christian Peterson does not support Sealed as the primary tournament.
Well, guess what?
Sure.
You have a vocal community that says Sealed is important to us.
Well, it might change this year,
like
but I'm
sometimes
saying that,
you're just wrong.
yes,
and
but I'm saying
and you have to swallow your words. You got to take your
Wookiee
bite
knows
of
a
the
lot
shit.
about that.
I know tons about it, and when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. Right? Sometimes you got to take your advice from Triple H from WWE. I know Sheep loves it, and that's why I'm going to say it. But sometimes you got to take your bite of the shit sandwich and move forward.
my AAA tire guys never said that to me.
So my question, my question really comes: what data has to be seen or heard or presented to GG? Because at this point, I think all the podcasts, I think all individuals
to do what?
here,
Like, what's the goal?
We
Like, what's
keep
your goal?
talking about-
You keep saying like, what do we got to present to them to do what? To get Sealed back?
I guess that for me, yes, that it is a matter
Keep
of Sealed
bitching.
and Archon. I just don't.
Keep
but I-
complaining. That's
I don't.
it.
I don't know.
As a Vault Tour level event, I don't. I'm not. I think Sealed is very important. I think Sealed is one of the best ways to play Keyforge. I wouldn't be heartbroken if Sealed didn't have the same maximum prize as the other formats.
No, you
Give me
can
some
go
more
ahead and
Sealed
put it
decks.
as you can do it as boxes.
I'd
be very appropriate.
I'm totally in support of Sealed. Right, totally agree with everybody. It's critical, but I also don't have a problem with the fact that it is, like Sealed only requires you to spend enough money to play the game that day, right? Like Archon and Alliance sort of have that. Keep buying more.
But Sealed
to find
fuels-
something better, or you're
but
buying
Sealed
the secondary
fuels
decks.
the addiction, right?
There are people who play at cash level stuff, right? That they don't, and even a lot of people actually are playing at top level Keyforge. Several of us are not actually opening that much anymore because we know it's not a good way to get a good deck. At least in the old system, like WoW changed that around, and a lot more opening from people who were pretty tight on their opening pre-WoW opened back up, but not all of them. But Sealed doesn't require that. Like, you don't have to, especially with something like TCO still existing, where you can just click the Sealed button and you can play. You can get all the training and knowledge you need to be good at that without ever spending any more money than it costs to show up at the event. Like, and truth to a lot of those people, like if you're only interested in playing this game in a Sealed format, having to own the deck afterward is kind of a crappy detriment. if you're only interested in playing sealed again, like if I only want to ever play this game sealed again in my life, owning the physical deck kind of a detriment to the whole situation. Like
I don't know. I got like my Scrooge McDuck pool of decks over here, and I just jump in and swim around. It's like pretty awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's why Archon and Alliance are supposed to be a thing, so you have a reason to own the deck afterwards. But that's not everybody's life and truth.
I would say, but again, like you proved why my idea 2 years ago was a shit idea. You proved it, right? Because like,
it's right. This is your fault.
It is my fault, and but it proved it, right? Like it was just an idea, and everyone went nah, and I went nah, and I was and there was kind of this back and forth, but in the end, like it proved it. Like putting together bad decks doesn't make a deck good. Like shit plus shit still equals shit, right? So I kind of thought that like
that turd.
Yeah, right. It still doesn't work. Like good decks are good decks are good decks, and they're good decks for a reason. Like you might be able to find something that's a little bit better, but that's probably still part of what's already a good deck. So like you're kind of just in the same boat, and the only people I feel like Ghost Galaxy is hurting with the Alliance idea is themselves, because
now walking it back is hard, right?
And
I just don't understand why we can't just say Alliance. We tried it, it didn't work. Let's move on. It's not what the majority of our community wants or needs.
A 5 or 10% is my guess of actual players who would then be done.
I would like to
no Alliance. I'm out.
I would like to see the amount of individuals that are hurt from not attending large events where it would be sealed in Archon. Because realistically, time is what you said earlier was a major restriction. Why are we going ahead and choosing between Alliance and Archon? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, again, totally different topic for a totally different day. But like I fully feel that Alliance is the reason we don't have sealed. But I don't think at this point you're getting rid of Alliance ever. Like it's just not happening. Like this is their baby. This is their grand idea.
If we don't,
they're gonna continue with it until this runs out.
If we don't get meaningful sealed in 24, and they push Alliance as hard as they did in 23, I will agree that the reason that we are not getting sealed now, but I don't actually think that was the reason we didn't have sealed last year.
No,
I would agree with you that the primary reason that we didn't have sealed last year was probably product.
We didn't have a product,
okay.
and they were pushing their idea. The combination is definitely there.
Right, they're coupled. Right, they're coupled.
Correct.
That he had this belief, right, and he had this thought that sealed at high level play for some reason was bad for stores, and
I didn't hear that argument, or did not.
Oh yeah, he said something like that on one of the casts. I don't remember if it was
because stores hate selling product.
Well, no, but because stores want you to buy the product there and then bring it to the vault. He said something like that.
Okay,
in
let's
some
make
podcast.
a vault exclusive set. That you can only buy at the vault.
And that makes no sense whatsoever either, because so I buy it at my store and then I bring it to a vault. That's what you're saying the argument was?
And
like,
also,
that makes no sense. No store gives two squirts about what deck I'm bringing to a vault. All they know is, did you spend money here today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Fantastic.
All right, boys, I have a real easy way of putting this. There's an open invitation CTP. Come on. You have open invitation to come on Archon's Corner, and we will go ahead and hear your reason why Alliance is so great. I would love to be able to hear this.
I mean, yeah. We should. I mean, he is a human person. We'll have to be a little nicer when he's here.
What?
If he comes, right?
No. I enjoy the glaring looks I get at Keyforge. I almost called it live Keyforge Celebration.
Okay,
I enjoy those glaring looks, but we've gone on far enough.
I want to finish mocking Drazkor's point that he was saying. So
okay, go ahead.
If the thing is stores don't like people buying decks at sealed.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Go ahead.
Because they then created their tournament format for this year, which requires you to buy 3 decks every time, even though you don't even have to play in a sealed event. You're guaranteed you buy 3 decks, plus then there's exclusive, you can only buy their decks. Instead of a bunch of events being where like you didn't have to buy a deck at all if you didn't want to. Instead, they changed it to you must buy decks directly from us to play at top level tournaments.
Yep.
So like what you're saying, I can see some stores saying that, but then their actions are completely counter to that.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a Covenant
thing.
cast or something. He said it.
Sure,
which is why when telephone happens and things get distorted, we've heard many different things. I open it up, Archon's Corner, talk to us. We'll bring you on. I'd love to be able to hear.
So I say actionable things. That's all I care about these days. Or I far more concerned about that than all.
Well, all these things are actionable. It's whether the action is executed,
followed through.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's followed through, and you can actually do something with it.
Like I can say I'm going to make foil token cards, but it determines whether I actually do it or not. Right? Thanks, guys. Thanks for all your votes of confidence. Thank you all for listening to us. What is this? Which format would you like to focus on official play?
Oh, yeah, look at this. This is a NKFL poll. Well, that's kind of interesting. So this leans a little more international, right? Because it's NKFL.
Shocker, it's a split straight down the middle of Sealed and Alliance. Or Alliance.
Archon and Sealed.
I'm sorry, Archon and Sealed. That's what I want to say.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. First place, Archon and Sealed, tied.
Look what's at the bottom.
Yep. Third place is Other. So Hexad, Adaptive, whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand this obsession, and I think Unfathomable said it. Why not Reversal Triad Adaptive or something like that? I don't. Number one, all 3 of those are terrible ideas for top level play. Like Reversal Triad and Triad and Adaptive are just absolute dog shit to play.
Yeah, these are big topics for another day, Wookie.
Yeah. All right, fine.
I want to go. Don't know. Yeah, what we don't know about this.
We'll poop on your guys' ideas another day.
Yeah, what we don't know about the survey is because it's Discord, we don't know how many unique individuals were voting on that. And
You're
again,
only allowed to vote once on Discord, as far as.
Well, no, we can actually see that Isaac voted for Archon.
Yeah, you can see where you voted on each of those, so you can vote for each number once.
He did not vote for Sealed Alliance. Actually, wait, Sealed Alliance actually had the 3rd most votes. But
yeah, because it's still sealed.
It's
like
still
given,
sealed. Yeah.
Given the opportunity of like, would I rather have Sealed Alliance or no sealed at all? Of course, I'll take your dog shit format and play it, as opposed to not having any sealed. Just saying. I long for the days of buy 3, pick 1. That's all. I want that back. Please bring it back.
We appreciate that Keyforge is still here. We appreciate that we had big events last season. I look forward to the follow through on what was talked about here today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, we'll see y'all next time.
Happy fortune, everyone.
May the Forge be with you.
I'm getting naked.
Ticking like a time bomb.